So, Marty, when you were contacted and told about Xiomara's situation, describe what you did and how you began to get involved on her behalf.
Sure. We got the call from a social worker at Duke who said that they had a young woman who desperately needed kidney surgery, but she was afraid to come into the hospital because she was worried that ICE would come to pick her up. So when we first talked to Xiomara, can we get some of the slides up so we can see them? He was sending her these threats through Univision's version of Facebook. So every time he sent her one of these threats, it had his picture in the corner. So
you're just completely brazen about it.
Well, yeah, and to be really honest, when we first got the complaint, we thought there's no way this guy could really be with ICE because either he's incredibly stupid or just really, really bold. And of course, at the end, we realized that it was just that he thought that she was going to be so afraid that there was no way he would ever file a complaint against him. And to tie in with what Eric was saying, one of the reasons why he was able to find her so easily is that she was in an apartment of a friend of hers that was raided by the Raleigh Police Department, and she got into the deportation system through 287G. So that's how he was able to find the deportation order against her. But when we first filed the complaint, we actually filed it as a John Doe. And then pretty soon after we filed the complaint with the Chapel Hill Police Department, it came back that in fact he was a desk officer for USCIS, and that's how he had access to her information. So
he was with CIS, not ICE, but was still in this position of exploiting what knowledge and information he had. You at that moment decided to go down the path of realizing that this could be an appropriate situation to seek a U visa. Can you describe that and the choices that went then into what you did next?
Well, as most people probably know, the U visa is a special type of visa that protects victims of certain crimes. And in looking at it, and then again, this was before we actually found out that he worked for CIS, and we said, okay, if this guy's pretending to be an ICE agent, obviously that's something that ICE is going to want to know about and take seriously. And if he really was, in fact, an ICE agent, it would be the same scenario. So we actually called ICE and said, hey, this is the deal. And from very early on, both ICE and USCIS took the situation very seriously and cooperated with us and helped us worked on the U visa. Because either way, it was really clear that Xiomara was a victim of a crime who needed to be protected. And again, in terms of helping Xiomara feel safe, because he was stupid enough to put his picture there, all the hospital security personnel and the nurses on the floor and her doctors and everyone who was in the hospital dealing with her case had his picture. So would he try to come into the hospital, he would be immediately identified and arrested.